Hey there, all my phoenixes out there in internet land. I am coming to you today with a response from a question from one of our members that she sent me a message about, which of course you are all welcome to send me a message if you have any questions, suggestions, or requests for any kinds of projects or DIYs or topics that you would like me to cover in particular. Please feel free to message me, PM me on the Facebook and let me know. So this is an answer to her question, and she asked me if there are any particular projects that you can do at home if you don't have any, special supplies, which I totally understand 100%. That always, sometimes we don't have a chance to get out there. And so here's something that you can do at home that's quick and easy, and you can use practically anything you have sitting around. And I call it my intuitive cookbook, my intuitive coloring book. Intuitive coloring book. You draw your own. How amazing is that? So fun. And it is definitely a meditative process. So I'm going to do it here for you. I'll do you a quick little tutorial sitting here on my bed, and I will show it to you step by step, and you'll get to watch me doodle, and then we'll talk about coloring it in. I have some, here, let me show you. I have just some of my old highlighters just hanging around, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to just use these. Any kind of coloring implement you have, and I just happen to have those, so I'm going to use that for the example. So yes, you want to, I've tried to set aside a little space here. I've got some incense burning behind me and a little bit of music on the computer. You can use this for all kinds of stuff. You can use it for working through emotions. You can use it for intention setting. I mean, what don't you? You can just use it for fun, hell. If you just need to sit there and relax and you're like, shit, Daniela, I don't have a coloring book. Okay, girl, go get yourself some printer paper, or go get, this is actually the composition book that we started the Creative Juices journal in, so I just cracked it open to the middle and we're going to play right here. And that is perfectly okay too, because I think something like an intuitive coloring book would belong in a Creative Juices journal, don't you think? So, why not? Use what you got. You've got, if you were going to be able to be creative, all the time in your life and have those kind of positive, pervasive effects that living your creativity has in your life constantly, you have got to get resourceful, people. Even I have to get resourceful. So here I am showing you a quick little thing that I love to do that we're going to call our intuitive coloring book. There we are. Pen down. And I've also, you notice I'll put something down here. This is just a scrap piece of fabric I have, but you can use paper or whatever you have. You could be sitting at the table. I just so happen to not want to get pen all over my my cover here. So, like I said, making do with what you have. All right, here we go. A few deep breaths. And if you have a hard time focusing your mind, which I know a lot of us do, I certainly did for decades. What I have found that I like to do that helps a lot for me is to focus on the feeling of the breath as it comes into my nose, and then depending on how it is most comfortable for you, you can also feel it going out your nose, but sometimes it's a little harder because the breath is actually warmer. It's close, it's closer to your body temperature, if not your body temperature. So it's easier to feel it coming in because it's cooler. And sometimes blow it out of your mouth instead of your nose so that you can feel it go across your lips, which sometimes will help you bring more attention to your breath easier than in and out of your nose. And then once you get used to it, you can go to just in and out of your nose, but either way. Just a quick tip on meditating for those of us who sometimes have a hard time bringing our mind to a little bit of a still place, which I know I certainly did for a long time. So, all right, without further ado, sorry guys, we'll get around to it eventually, you know this. All right, here we go. All right. Wow. What a mess. And you can go for as long as you want. You start to learn to listen to your gut as your mind is quieted and you're focusing on your intention and your breath. And you're just letting your hand wander. Now this can be a problem if you're doing it in your journal. As you can see, some of these lines don't connect. And if that drives you absolutely crazy, which I can understand, you can go back after you're looking and connect them through, if that would help you color them in. So I've just connected some of those lines. But yes, it's going to look scribbly and it's going to look crazy. And then, all you're going to do, and this is also intuitive as well, just like any coloring is, and that's why it's relaxing. You're letting your brain, you know, sort of let go and take a back seat and just sort of, you know, listen to your inner voice. It's like, oh yeah, that would look nice there. Oh yeah. And this is a great exercise to get out of your box because it is so abstract. And believe me, I had such an aversion to abstract for such a long time. But it really elasticizes the mind because we as human beings need interesting and diverse things to look at, aka not the same thing over and over and over again. It needs to change. So I have learned to embrace abstract more and more. It's not necessarily my automatic artistic style if I were to paint a painting, but this is an exercise, and so that's what that's about. So as you can see, I'm just filling in some here, and you can try out different coloring techniques. I'm just doing them pretty solid, but then, you know, you can come back and fill it in and add shading to it. I don't know if you can see that. You can come around the edges and add shading. And the great thing about this too, one of the many great things, is that then you can put it down at some point. You don't have to finish the whole thing right now. And then when you are ready to have another mental break, you can come back to it and be like, okay, now I'm ready to fill in more. So that is my tips and tricks for you. For something that you can do at home really quick with anything you have laying around. Any kind of paper, any kind of black pen. Like I said, I only prefer black because it's closest to the coloring book, which is helping coloring in the lines, which is, you know, so on and so on and so on. And then any kind of coloring implement that you have, all the way from colored pencils to markers to Sharpies, I mean, to highlighters to sky's the limit, whatever you got hanging around. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I will see you all very soon, and I hope you have a wonderful, fun time trying this out. Post your stuff up. I want to see it. I post my stuff for you all to see. I want to see your stuff, you guys. I want to see it. I want to see you doing it. I want to see you working it. It will work for you if you work it, right? So, this has been Daniela, as you all know, from Redesign Your Life, and I will see you all very soon.